What's up, Yankees universe? KOD Nation, stand up, and you degenerates, wake up and get your coffee. Welcome to this Thursday edition of the Yankees Morning Brew. It is Thursday, August 4th, 11 o'clock in the morning, and I'm feeling good. Even though we're coming off of a Yankees loss, I can say it was an embarrassment from Garrett Cole yesterday in the first inning. He got lit up. I want to take a quick second to shout out the chat real quick. Shout out to my guy Michael Mazza with the Ford Train Express. I believe Mazza's going live today for the first time. Mazza, if that's true, please let us know in the chat. That way I could be there to fully support, of course. Molly Kellaway as well. Salute, Molly. Good morning. She said, I'm thankful the Yankees have today off. So am I. So am I, Molly. You know, today was, or yesterday, was a very frustrating day. I'll say frustrating and upsetting day because Yankee fans are still trying to process the trade of Jordan Montgomery, right? And while trying to process the trade of Jordan Montgomery, Yankee fans aren't the only ones. It's as well as Jameson Taillon and Garrett Cole. Because as much as we want to joke about losing Jordan Montgomery and try to gauge how valuable Jordan Montgomery was to this team when it comes to being a starting pitcher or being a pitcher in the postseason, one thing we could say is that the trio of Montgomery, Taillon, and Garrett Cole was always something that you saw huddled up together in that Yankees dugout, right? So I'm not trying to make excuses. Bad pitching is bad pitching, but it seems like Jameson Taillon and Garrett Cole, they missed the third member of the three amigos. They missed their buddy, you know, they missed their friend, you know, which you cannot fault them, you know, when there's no rumors of a player being traded, right? When it literally comes up at the last second, it's going to be shocking, right? And then another thing as well, well, two things with Kyle Higashioka behind the plate as a catcher with Garrett Cole needs to stop, right? So let me look at the numbers real quick. This season, 14 games with Luis Trevino behind the plate. Garrett Cole is pitching to a 2.74 ERA. We want to see that. It's beautiful. But with Kyle Higashioka behind the plate catching him, in 8 games, Garrett Cole is pitching to a 5.40 ERA. That right there cannot happen in the playoffs. Oh, let me see. My man Michael Mazzi said it will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. New York City time. Okie dokie. Give me 1 second. My apologies.
the morning and take 10 mark. The morning and
My apologies for that. Doctor was calling me because I have a doctor's appointment set up tomorrow. My last epidural shot I'm getting in my back, so thank God. Hopefully this whole back issue that I have going that I've been dealing with for this past year is over with. So my apologies. Molly, I thank you. I'm glad that you like that. One thing that I wanted to show you guys, and I know I'm skipping along, but with Garrett Cole struggling as he is right now, right? My man Jigga Man, how you doing? How you doing, Jigga Man? With Garrett Cole struggling, it's one thing I wanted to point out also. Besides the Kyle Higashioka struggles, which is basically proof in the pudding, since last year, right? Since June 1st of last year, since MLB cracked down on the sticky substance situation in MLB, according to StatMuse on Twitter, Garrett Cole in 41 games has a record of 19-10, but has an ERA of 3.83. Now, an ERA of 3.83 is not too bad, but I'm not sure if it's $300 million ace-like stuff that you want to get, Now, if you guys have been following different YouTube channels, there's one that's called the Jolly Olive, Sports Logic, Sports Studios. They made a video about the sticky substance in baseball. And so far, it seems like the Spider Attack is gone, but the traditional rosin, sweat, suntan lotion, that type of sticky substance it's back. And the consensus around baseball between pitchers and position players and hitters is that they would rather pitcher have control of a fastball inside than get hit. So as long as the pitchers and the hitters both know what's going on and both are in an agreement to what's going on, then I think it should be even playing field. Now, will there be some people to try to take it a little bit further, just like with the Spider Attack? You never know. But whenever it's allowed or whenever there's room for somebody to bend the rule or take advantage of a rule, 9 times out of 10, they're going to do it, especially if it's in a competitive setting and especially if there's money attached to it. So if you have a pitcher who's about to hit free agency and it's his last year and he has a chance to use the Spider Attack to get himself a big contract, the same way Trevor Bauer did before his nonsense blew up in his face. But yeah, let me see. My man Keith, salute Keith. He said, I don't think the Spider Attack has anything to do with it. He went from pitching a weak division in the NL Central to dominating in Houston, pitching behind the goal. Yeah, that's a good point for me. I'm just pointing out the fact that since June 1st of last year, when MLB cracked down on the sticky substance, right? Before June 1st of last year, he was pitching to an ERA of 2.20. After the crackdown by MLB, his ERA in 41 games since then is 3.83. He has a 19-10 win-loss record in those 41 games. Now, could what Keith's saying have some weight to it? Absolutely. Switching divisions, switching ballparks, going from the Houston Astros ballpark, which is, conducive if you're a fly ball pitcher, deep center field, you're going to get a lot of flyouts, right? But it's down the right field line on the left field line. Yankee Stadium, you got the right field porch, you got the alley. So it all depends on situation. And like Keith said, moving from one division to the other division or moving from one stadium to the other could be a factor in it as well. Let me see, my man Michael. I don't understand the session that Boone has with Higgy catching Cole over Trevino. Higgy and Cole hasn't worked all season, and Trevino and Cole has. Why mess with it? I 100% agree with you, Maza. As I pointed out earlier, Garrett Cole's ERA with Jose Trevino behind the dish, 2.74. With Kyle Higashioka this season, it's a 5.40 ERA. So it's a big, big difference. And as well, when you're looking at those numbers that I brought up earlier from StatMuse, last year, Garrett Cole had both Gary Sanchez and Kyle Higashioka catching him. So both of those players last year could probably attribute it to his high ERA after June 1st when they cracked down on the sticky substance. So it's a lot of things that's going on, right? But one thing I could say over these past two games from Montgomery and Taillon, from Taillon to Cole, more Cole than anything is, I know you're missing your guy. I know you're missing your guy, Jordan Montgomery, right? But you cannot let this carry on. Garrett Cole has to step it up going towards the postseason. We do have the best record. You know, this team is sitting pretty. We did trade for Frankie Montas. Most likely Frankie Montas will be starting this weekend. I see my man Worldwide L is trolling us in the chat. Salute, my guy Worldwide L, 3 capital S's like Jay Bookie always says. But yeah, after this start, Garrett Cole has to turn it up. When we're gauging the postseason, when we're looking towards the postseason, Cole, Montas, and then a combination of Nestor Cortez and Luis Severino. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around the Jordan Montgomery trade. You know, I catch myself in 1 second being for it, totally understanding it, understanding why, you know, they made the move, getting more defense, while at the same time, I'm still scratching my head. You know, when you have 11, 12, 13, whatever lead in the division you have it. You have a double-digit lead in the division. I get it. August 4th, you're looking towards the postseason, and you're gearing this team ready for the postseason. I get it. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the Jordan Montgomery move. But guys, I'm going to bring my man Frankie Two Tones in. But before I bring my man Frankie Two Tones in, I got a little video we want to play. You know, this is a little upgrade from the last video we played from Aaron Judge. But stay tuned. We'll be right back. Frankie, what is good, baby?
New Twitter name, right there, baby.
Grady fans,
Baby.
please announce it for the fans. Let them know how you properly announce it.
We got the new Twitter name. You know, big day. Guardy fanatic.
Okay.
Okay. Something. You know, they wouldn't let me do Brett Gardner fan because I was taken. So I was like, oh yeah, this is good. And whenever you're ready, I got the Joey jersey right here.
Oh, bro, whenever you're ready. First and foremost, Frankie, I want to salute you. Happy morning, good morning to you, Frankie. You know, congratulations on shedding that old Twitter name and getting this new Twitter name, the Gardy Fanatic. I'm in love with it. Brett Gardner, I actually saw him playing in Yankee Stadium when he got the inside the park home run against the Minnesota Twins in 2010 and during the summertime. So pretty excited that you went with that name, Frankie. But whenever you're ready, the fans want to know. Hold on, I'll do this like this. The fans want to see it.
All right.
You know, the fans want to see it. Go ahead, Frankie.
All right, here's the Gallo jersey. We're gonna bring it to the other room. Here we go. Going in the laundry room. There's the garbage. Wish you the best of luck. But there you go. We'll see you, Joey. Good luck. We're done.
Hey, Joey. Good luck, Joey. You know,
You're done.
Yeah, you're done. Listen, it's all funds and everything. Just know that, take this with a grain of salt. Your time in New York, it had some rough spots. We wish you the best, right? That's all we can say, Joey Gallo. We wish you the best. Your time in New York was horrible. The fans came down on you mentally. You were drained mentally. You were defeated. Joey Gallo, good luck. Good luck with the Dodgers. Hopefully, you could turn your season around and hopefully turn your career around. But like my man Mazza said, it's about
It's a bad
time.
time. Got
I
that,
agree with that sentiment.
got that horse off of our back. Finally got
Yeah.
Gallo out, and
Yeah.
we're good. I think we're set for
Mhm.
a playoff run. Now, since we don't have to play him every day, we actually have I don't know. Yeah, congrats, right? That's a big month.
Everybody congratulating you, Frankie, on that.
But yeah, we definitely have a deeper team now than we did. I've still been trying to have this Montgomery trade sit in, and the
Same.
more I think about it, the more I like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The more I let it sink in, the more I'm like, damn, this was a good move. So
I catch myself doing the same thing, right, Frankie? I catch myself liking it, but then 3 seconds later, not liking it, but then a second later liking it. So I've been like flip-flopping back and forth over these past 24 hours. But ultimately, like we've been saying on this show since you've come on the show, and Brian Cashman we trust. Yes or no, Frankie?
And Cash we trust, man. Hey.
And Cash we trust.
He's been a general manager of the Yankees for 20 years for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if he thinks it was the right move, I mean, kind of gotta stick with him now. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Yeah, I will see. We'll see. And having you have your Twitter name change and the Joey Gallo jersey thing, it how can I say this? It was refreshing to see, especially after yesterday's loss. What's your thoughts on yesterday's loss before we deep dive into the numbers? What was your take on Garrett Cole?
Oh my God, I don't even know what to say. Me and my dad went to lunch right after I got off the show because we want to, we wanted to watch the game.
Nice.
So we're sitting there. They don't have the game on because we're in the Jersey Shore. So like 1 o'clock, I'm like, hey, can you turn the Yankee game on? They're like, yeah, sure, turn the game on. Within 10 minutes of the game, my dad was like, can we get the check? You can turn the game on. We saw him give up the 2-run home run, and we were like, yeah, let's go to the beach.
Yeah, no. That's literally what happened to me because I was in the city yesterday. I told you guys I was gonna go watch Wicked, the musical. And one thing I can say is if you guys haven't seen Wicked, the musical, please go watch Wicked. If you guys are familiar with the Wizard of Oz story, go watch Wicked. It's an origin story of the Wicked Witch of the West, whatever you want to do it. Go watch it. It's phenomenal musical and play. But when I got down, because I took an Uber down into the city from where I'm at. When I got down into the city, I was like, let me check my phone out. It's 1 o'clock. Let me see as I'm trying to make my way into the theater. And I checked and it was 6-0. And I was like, oh, I'm glad I'm at the theater today. I'm putting my phone on airplane mode.
Yeah, man, it was tough. Garrett Cole, man. It was weird. He gave up 6 runs in the first inning, and then he ended up pitching 6 innings and then gave up another hit.
And watching the replay of because I did when I got back home, I did watch the full replay of the game. When I got home, watching the replay up
innings,
in the 5 innings, besides the first inning, he looked fantastic.
Yeah,
that first inning, his refusal to throw his fastball, I think, is what hurt him because they were all sitting on breaking. The home runs he gave were all on breaking pitches. The double he gave was on breaking. Everything he gave up, the extra base hits he gave up, all was on off-speed pitches. He was scared to throw his fastball, it seemed like, in the first inning.
He wasn't. I don't know. It was just weird outing from him. I was saying yesterday, when he's locked in, he's really, really good.
Yeah.
But when he's not locked in, it's not. He's really, really bad.
Yeah. So, yeah, and that's the thing with Garrett Cole. It's like he'll be pitching lights out phenomenally, and then he'll have one inning that he gives up 4 or 5 runs. But then the rest of the game, he's unhittable.
It's like I feel like it's getting to a point where it's every start where there's one inning where it gives up 3 or 4 runs. I mean, it happened with Kansas City last week. Happened last night, or not last night, yesterday, where there was one inning he gave up a couple runs, not a couple, a lot of runs, and then he fights out the rest of the game. Like I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, against Kansas City, he gave up 5 runs in one inning. Yeah, 5 runs in that in the 5th inning. It was an error that happened, or a fielding error that happened. Something happened to give them an extra out, and they scored 5 runs in Kansas City.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
I think it was IKF that did something wrong.
It was either
he had what was it? He had a play where he laid out and it kind of went.
Yeah, and it went underneath his glove. That's what it was. It went underneath.
Yeah, that's what it was. And then the next inning, Kansas City shortstop made the same play, but was able to actually make the play. So we were like, "Come on, dude!" I'm surprised Peraza isn't up yet. To be honest.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. There's going to be a Peraza watch sooner or later. Only thing that's keeping IKF here is he's still hitting. He's still hitting. He may be having a subpar season when it comes defensively, but he is having a better season defensively than Gleyber Torres did last year at shortstop. That's one thing we can agree on. He's not having the sexy season that we may want from a shortstop for the New York Yankees, but IKF has been serviceable in that position. He's not the worst fielder we have, right? When you want to look at our defense, I wouldn't say that IKF is probably like the worst that we have. But when you're the shortstop, it stands out more than like say like a left fielder or a right fielder or a second baseman to a certain degry. If you're a shortstop messing up, it stands out a lot more, and it's a big it's a bigger problem than anything else. Let me see this comments riff section. My man Mazza says breaking pitches that got crushed were either cement mix of curveballs, slingers, or that's all that he threw up. He said a hole in the ground would have a better defensive season than Gleyber Torres. That's pretty funny.
Now that I got the new Twitter name, I think I should show off this jersey I got.
Oh, snap.
2015 All-Star, Brett Gardner.
Oh, snap.
Always love this guy. So now I got the new name. Gotta break out the All-Star jersey.
Nice. So
my chair for a while.
Your true fandom has come back. The actual true fan that you are has finally come back because you get to be the Brett Gardner fan again.
I get to be the Brett Gardner fan again that I was when I was 14 when I got my first paycheck. Stupidly bought this jersey.
Hey, listen, as long as you enjoy it, that's all that matters. I don't remember I don't remember if I have what I spent. I would say first paycheck. Matter of fact, no, first paycheck I got. I was 13 years old. I was working at a supermarket by my grandmother's house. I spent it on a 50-cent mixtape. Believe it or not, back in 2004. But Keith pointed something out. I'm sorry, Keith pointed something out. He said, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but check our schedule from 8/5 to 8/23. Very, very all right. Let's look at that right now. So 8/5. Okay, so we have the Cardinals for 3 games, the Mariners for 3 games, Boston for 3 games, Tampa for 3 games, Toronto for 4 games, the Mets for 2 games, and the Mets are the last 2 games, and then Oakland and the Angels for the rest of the month. So within this next stretch, it is tough. Out of those teams that I've mentioned, Frankie, which series are you worried about the most?
The Toronto series, I think.
Okay.
I'm not worried about them. They're such a young, talented team. They're gonna be a thorn in our side for the next 15 years. But I don't know. They're kind of heating up a little bit. They had a really cold stretch, or they fired Montoya and whatever. But they're starting to get back into it. So I am kind of scared of that series. But other than that, Tampa we can beat. We can beat Boston, I think. At least I hope. And then the Mets. The Mets series is also going to be kind of tough because if we lose that series, I don't think my grandma is a big Mets fan. I'm still hearing about the series from last week. Imagine if they win 2 against us. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Listen, my mom's a diehard Met fan. Trust
Oh,
me,
God.
I'm feeling the same thing you're feeling
Yeah.
from your grandmother. But bit of sad news. The Dodgers, they've leapfrogged us for the best record in baseball. The Dodgers have 71 wins. The Yankees have 70 wins. We still have a better record than the Houston Astros. We still have a better record in the American League, but the Yankees need to step it up, especially like Keith just pointed out, because our schedule gets a lot tougher. When I'm looking at this stretch, the Cardinals, it's the Cardinals, the Mariners. We just, lost 2 out of 3 against the Mariners, so we need to bounce back in that series.
Yeah.
It's this stretch right here that's a bit concerning to me. You got
Yeah.
the Red Sox, Tampa Bay, and then the Toronto Blue Jays, right? I don't want it to be a situation where the Yankees, knock on wood, get swept by the Red Sox, get swept by the Rays, and now our division lead is down from 11 games to 6 games or to 7 games, and we have a 4-game series against Toronto. Going into September, if we lose against Toronto in that series, if we get swept, our division lead could dwindle down to 3 games.
Hey, I think like that stretch with Boston, Tampa going into Toronto, I think that is going to be the most important stretch of the season when it comes to the not only the division lead, but trying to lock up that 1 spot season for the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
It'll be the
Oh yeah.
biggest 3 series in a row of the year for sure.
Oh yeah. My man Mazza, he said the series that worries me the most is the Tampa Bay series.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care that we have played well against them this year. With how we have been playing, that's not going to cut it against Tampa. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. How the way we've been playing coming out of the All-Star break is not going to help against any team. Let me just look at the record real quick, Frankie. Since coming out the All-Star break, let me see. Hold on. July. Oh, sorry, guys. The first series was against the Mets. No, hold on. Okay, so the first series out the All-Star break was against the Astros, right? We lost 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
Against Baltimore. We won, we lost, we won. So that's 2-3.
Mm-hmm.
We lost 1 against the Mets. That's another loss. 4 losses. Kansas City. We lost the game. Yeah, so we are under 500 coming out of the All-Star break.
Hey, I said this before. That's that's why winning those games in like May and June are so crucial because it's baseball and you're gonna hit stretches where you play under 500 baseball for a month. It's how baseball goes. So for us to play like the way we have over the past couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks since the All-Star break, that's really a testament to how good our run in the beginning was. So those are crucial wins.
Yeah, I just think going forward, Luis Chirino needs to be the catcher for Garrett Cole, not Kyle Higashioka, because the numbers just prove it. With Kyle Higashioka behind the plate, he has a 5.5+ ERA. With Jose Trevino, he has a 2.70 ERA. Cole's our number 1 right now, whether if we love it or if we hate it, he is our number 1. People like to use the word ace. They like to use this word. But Frankie, I'm gonna ask you as a pitcher yourself, Frankie, how many true aces are there left in baseball? How many true aces can you say? Can you just name off the top of your head true aces that are in baseball right now?
True aces in baseball.
True number 1 aces.
Justin Verlander.
1.
Max Scherzer.
2.
Jacob deGrom, which is 2 in the same team.
Yeah.
Oh God, this is a tough one. I gotta think. I feel like I'm missing a couple that are no brainers.
I could say Sandy Alcantara from Miami.
Yeah. Luis Castillo. I think he's a true ace. Honestly,
Luis Castillo.
God, there's really not a lot.
There's not a lot.
I think.
There aren't many aces. I was literally going to say the same five that you said. Literally going to say it. Verlander, Max, DeGrom, Sandy, and if you want to throw in Luis Castillo, throw in Luis.
Castillo's on the edge.
He's on the edge. He's on the edge. You know, so it's like, yes. Do we want to see better from Garrett Cole? Absolutely, we want to see better from Garrett Cole. This is not. We're trying to, you know, come up with excuses for Garrett Cole. No. Michael Caputo, he gave up 6 runs in the first. He sucks. I don't have faith in Cole anymore. Listen, Caputo, you ain't have faith in this entire team, this entire season. So keep not having faith. What I'm gonna say is that when it comes to Garrett Cole, Kershaw is not an ace anymore. Clayton Kershaw is not an ace anymore. His numbers aren't ace like. He's down from what he used to be.
I think maybe
he's a number one now. Clayton Kershaw is a number one. Garrett Cole is a number one.
There's a difference between a number one and an ace.
Yeah, there's a difference between a number one and an ace. We can agree that Scherzer, DeGrom, Verlander, those are aces. Those are bona fide aces. Jacob DeGrom, even though he just came back, had his first start, he looked good.
He looked really good. He looked like Jacob DeGrom the years that we've seen him over the past couple. I mean,
yeah,
he was throwing 94-mile-an-hour sliders. Like, come on, that's like unfair.
Yeah. It is so fair. Let me see. Walker Buehler stats.
Walker.
My man, Walker. Listen. This is how I know. Like some people, they just like to just throw stuff into the air without even looking. Walker Buehler has a 4.02 ERA. Is that an ace?
No.
How can anybody say Walker Buehler is an ace when he has a 4.02 ERA?
Don't know.
Come on, guys.
No.
Come on. We cannot say that Walker Buehler is an ace and he has an ERA that's in the 4s.
Yeah.
Come on. Hold on, wait. I'm looking up Kershaw stats just so I get Clayton Kershaw. He has a 2.99 ERA.
Yeah, he's a good number one.
He's a solid number one. Sup, PD, my man Pete. What's good, baby? Let's see. Walker. Look at Garrett Cole's career stats. If that's the argument you want to use, look at Garrett Cole's career stats. Caputo. Look at Garrett Cole's career stats. Dylan Cease is an ace. Dylan Cease is a solid number one. I wouldn't say it's an ace.
Would you say Carlos Rodon is an ace?
No, I wouldn't say Carlos Rodon is an ace.
I think he's somewhat on the edge. I think he's close, but he's not up there yet.
Yeah, Clayton. I would say we could say Clayton Kershaw is on the edge as well. You know, obviously.
Yeah.
You said his name. I'm going off of what he's doing this year. We're talking about pitchers that are pitching this year and their stats this year. If you want to say that Walker Buehler, he's an ace because of his career stats, then you can say Garrett Cole is an ace because of what he's done in his career.
Mm-hmm.
You said Walker Buehler. Walker Buehler has a 4.0. Walker Buehler has a worse ERA than Jameson Taillon, but that's your king.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do 1 year, yeah, you got to compare all the 1 year guys. I mean, you can't. And also, if you want to say a whole career, you got to look at the whole career. That means, like you said, Cole would be an ace if you look at his whole career. This year,
now,
few years, maybe he's not an ace.
Now, Alex Manoah, solid number one. Number one. He's on that tier as well, just on the outside looking in.
I'm gonna be honest, I forgot about Manoah. I think I put him in my opinion, I put Manoah in the ace category. I just totally forgot about him. But in my opinion, I think I put him in the ace.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so out of the pitchers that we just named, right, going into a playoff start, who would you rather have than Garrett Cole? Obviously, DeGrom, Scherzer, Verlander. I'm trying to think.
Alcantara.
Sandy Alcantara, but we don't know what Alcantara has done.
Castillo's
Dylan
edge.
What happened? I'm sorry, I
Kessler
couldn't.
too, I think. He's up
Oh
there.
yeah. Hold on, Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease stats. Yeah, Dylan Cease. That's the pitcher from Chicago that the Yankees lit up earlier in the season.
Yeah, we killed him earlier in the year.
Yeah.
He got wrote down, boy.
Agreed. Sandy is definitely an ace. Absolutely.
And he's
100% agree with that. 100% agree with that. Dylan Cease, you could put Dylan Cease into that conversation because his numbers are good.
Let me
What
look
about
up.
Shane Bieber? We're trying to Caputo. We're trying to find the clear definition between an ace and a number one starter on the team,
Yeah.
right? Because there's a lot of pitchers that are people calling an
Yeah.
ace that aren't an ace, or you got pitchers that are number one pitchers on the team that aren't an ace. You know, that's what I mean. But
Yeah.
let's look deep into these stats.
Shane Bieber's a very good number one. He's not ace category, but he's a pretty good number one. Shane Bieber.
He said, "Is Ohtani an ace?" No.
I don't know, man. He's up there too.
He's up there, but I wouldn't say he's an ace right now. I'm looking up his pitching numbers right now for this season. Give me 1 second. Yeah, Shane Bieber. Agreed. Shane Bieber is a number one.
Shane Bieber's a very good number one.
Solid number one. Hold on. You see, that's the thing about like Ohtani. He's a two-way player, so it's kind of hard. I'm on baseballreferences.com. It's kind of hard to pick up his pitching stats.
I think I got him here. Okay, this year in how many games? 18 games. He has a 13.03 strikeouts per nine, and a 2.83 ERA, and a 2.42 FIP, and he is 9-7.
What's his strikeout to walks ratio?
Strikeout to walk ratio. Does it show it here? I mean, it's not showing me like I'm on Fangraph, so it's not showing the exact number on walkouts on the walk.
Walks. Yeah. No, but like we were saying,
2.06 walks and 2.06 walks per nine, 13.03 strikeouts per nine. So that's pretty good.
I don't think anybody thought that Garrett Cole was the best pitcher in baseball when the Yankees got him.
Oh no,
I don't.
He's.
I don't think I thought that. Did you think that, Frankie? Did you think Garrett Cole?
I always thought that it was the Grom, Scherzer, Cole. That was always my 1, 2, 3 as best pitchers in baseball. But now I think Cole is kind of fallen down that list. He's still top 10. But
also too, like I brought up earlier, right? You know, the numbers from StatMuse when they show that, you know, since June 1st of last year. Now, I'm not saying it's because of the sticky substance, right? But since June 1st of last year, his ERA is 3.8. Hold on, let me just get the exact. I think it's 3.83 that I said it was. He has a 3 point from StatMuse. This is from StatMuse. He has a 3.83 ERA, 19-10 win-loss record, 41 games. Now, is 19-10, 3.83 ERA, Frankie, is that ace-like stuff to you?
No. He's not been. He's over the past 2 years, Garrett Cole has not been an ace-like pitcher. He's had ace-like performances. Has not had a full season as a Yankee, at least, as solidified ace.
Now, can we even say? Let's look at this. Is he even a number with those numbers that I just brought up? There's an argument that that's not even a number one starter numbers. That's more of a number two numbers.
I think I still think that Garrett Cole's our number one guy.
Yeah, he is our number one guy. Yeah,
him and Montas are like close. I think Garrett Cole is going to be our number one starter in the playoffs because that's what we're paying him to be. Whether us fans want him to be or not, that's what they're paying him to be. He's our game 1, our game 7 guy. Montas is our game 2 and our game 6 guy. You know what I mean? That's just the way it's going to be. Whether we agree with it or not, that's the way they're going to play it. So hopefully hopefully Cole is able to bounce back from these last 2 performances and can show us why we're paying him $300 million. So yeah, we'll see.
Hold on, because he said Garrett Cole has an 8 ERA in his last 5 starts.
Yeah, it's bad.
Nah, let me just look into that because that's not according to the numbers. Let's see. Against. Hold on, I'm looking at it right now. Against Cincinnati. Okay, this the runs. Okay, so against Seattle, he gave up 6 runs. Against Kansas City, he gave up 5 runs. Against Baltimore, he gave up 4 runs. Against Boston, he gave up 2 runs. Against Cincinnati, again, he pitched 7 innings, gave up no runs. Boston, he gave up 5 runs. Cleveland, 2 runs. Houston, 1 run. Tampa Bay, 1. So over his past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 starts. Over his past 10 starts, he has 1 start where he gave up 6 runs.
Yeah.
He has 2 starts where he gave up 5 runs, 1 start where he gave up 4 runs, and then 2 runs, no runs, 2 runs, 1 run, 0 runs. So over the past 10 starts, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those starts where he gave 4 more runs. Caputo, you said he had an over 8 ERA in his past 8 starts, but he didn't. Over his past 10 starts, he has 3 starts where he gave up 4 more runs. 3. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I don't know. I agree with you. He's been bad, but he hasn't been that bad.
Yeah, he hasn't been that bad.
He's been kind of bad over his past 8 to 10 starts. He's had a bad last 3 starts, but before that, he was having a pretty good year. So his ERA is inflated, but even with that, he's not having an ace type overall season. Even before that, he was not having an ace type season. He's having a number 1 season.
That's Caputo. I saw the same. That's when Kyle Higashioka is catching him. They showed the difference between Higashioka and Trevino. The last 3 starts.
I'm gonna pull up his ERA over the past 10 games. I'm gonna.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, here we go. All right, Garrett Cole.
Man, not even. Just do the math on that.
Yeah.
6 plus 5 plus.
All right, wait here. So I'm gonna get a calculator up here.
4 plus.
And can you read off his earned runs?
Yes, I'll read it off for you.
Over 10 games, can you just read off his earned runs? All right.
Against Seattle, it's 6 runs.
6.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that.
Against Kansas City, 5 runs.
5.
Against Baltimore, 4 runs.
4.
Against Boston, 2 runs.
2.
Cincinnati, 0 runs.
0.
Against Boston, 5 runs.
Yep.
Cleveland, 2 runs. Houston, 1 run. Tampa Bay, 1 run.
So
how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And against Tampa, no runs. That's his last 10 starts.
So there I got 26 runs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, let me store that. I'm going to go to eracalculator.com. Trust me, I'm a pitcher. I visit the
I was trying to figure out what is the method of Frankie's madness to doing this.
We got total number of earned. Jeez, I can't talk today. Total number of earned runs. We got 26. All right, now can you read me off the innings?
The innings? Okay, so we got 6 against Seattle.
6.
6 against Kansas City.
6.
6 against Baltimore.
6.
7 against Boston.
Yep.
7 against Cincinnati.
Yep.
6 against Boston. 6 against Cleveland. 7 against Houston. 7.1 against Tampa. And 6 versus Tampa.
So that's 64 in the 3rd inning. So I'm going to type in 64.1. Over his last 10 games, Garrett Cole has a 3.65 ERA.
3.65. Is that 8 or 3.65? Can you say it again?
3.65.
Okay, I'm super petty. That's why I said I want you to say it again. But yeah, over the past 10 starts, he has a 3.65 ERA. Now with Kyle Higashioka, it's not good. It's not good. But with Kyle Higashioka against Seattle is when he gave 6 runs. Against Kansas City, Higashioka was behind the plate as well. He gave up 5 runs. Against Boston, it was Kyle Higashioka where he gave up 5 runs. Now, against Baltimore with with Jose Trevino, he did give up 4 runs against Baltimore. That's one thing I could say, that Jose Trevino was behind the mound, and he did give up 4 runs. With Lou Trevino on this team, I'm gonna have a hard time trying to figure out who is who. Because just now you heard me say Lou and then switch it to Jose. Real
Lewis and Lou the whole
Caputo, we agree with you. He should be pitching a lot better than this. 100%.
Right out of my mind.
Yeah. Period. And agree. At least we come to agree. Trevino should be pitching, catching cold. Period. 100% agree. You see that statement right there? It's crisp. It's golden, baby. It's beautiful.
Wait, I'm gonna pull up Cole's ERA for the whole year. It's 3.56, which again isn't bad, but it's not 8. That's a solid number 1. He's been. He's been a solid number 1. He's not been.
Like you said, Frankie. It's a solid number 1. It's not a $300 million ace.
No, and I agree with Caputo. If you want to look at his past 4 years, past 4 or 5 years, or his whole career, then yeah, I can give you he's been an ace. But past 2 years with the Yankees, he has not been an ace. That's what the actor are saying.
He hasn't been an ace. Yeah,
he's been an ace over his career, but not the past 2 years.
That's you laid it out perfectly, Frankie. As you know, one thing I can say with Garrett Cole is that ever since we got him, though, he hasn't missed a start. He's pitched every start. He hasn't been on the IL, knock on wood. Don't want anything to happen for him. No COVID scares either. He hasn't missed any games for COVID. So knock on wood when it comes to that. But
he's been making every start. And for the most part, he's been pitching good as a Yankee. He hasn't been pitching great. He's been a good Yankee starter, not a great one, not an ace. But
Caputo, Verlander and Garrett Cole are 2 different pitchers.
Oh yeah,
Verlander is an anomaly. He's a superstar. He's 39 years old, got Tommy John, and came back better than he went down with. Not many people do that, And Justin Verlander,
he's one of the best pitchers of all time, straight up.
Yeah, and you have to understand, Justin Verlander hates the New York Yankees. He does not want to pitch for the New York Yankees. He had that 10-5, 10 years in the majors, but 5 with one team. He had that in his contract. So when he got traded to Houston, he had the Yankees as a no trade list. Why? Because his wife used to date Alex Rodriguez. He does not like the Yankees. He never wanted to pitch for the Yankees. That's one thing about Verlander. When it came up, I wanted the Yankees to go after him. But it came out that he doesn't like New York City. He doesn't want to pitch for the Bronx. You can't blame him. If I had that stipulation, if I was able to take advantage of that, you damn sure ain't sending me to Washington like Eric Hosmer.
You're not sending me to Boston, bro.
Yeah, you're not sending me where I don't want to go. If I have beef with a city, if my girlfriend, right? If my wife, put girlfriend to the side because they're married now. If her ex-boyfriend played for that team, and her ex-boyfriend comes back once in a blue to cover ESPN games for that team, I do not want to go to that team.
Yeah, for real. I agree. Yeah,
let's see. My man Pete said Verlander is 100. Yeah, Verlander is a
first ballot.
He's a first ballot Hall of Fame. First ballot. And then if you Caputo, if you want to talk about trades, right? That where the Yankees messed up with, this is where the Yankees messed up at. The year that we traded for Curtis Granderson, that big 3-team trade with Detroit, the Yankees, and Arizona, right? The Yankees didn't want to give up one of their pitching prospects for Max Scherzer. If you want to say the Yankees messed up by not getting Max Scherzer back when he was a rookie, to have Curtis Granderson and Max Scherzer on the same team, then you can say the Yankees messed up. That's what you can say. That's what Brian Cashman messed up.
I wonder who this pitching prospect was.
I don't even. Yeah, you see, Caputo remembers it. It was
something.
Yeah, it was some left-handed pitcher that had like a birdie, some weird last name that he had. But basically, he didn't turn out to be anything. And that's who we didn't give up in order to get Max Scherzer. If you want to say the Yankees messed up there, cool. I'm 100% agreeing with you on that. But when it comes to the Verlander deal, Verlander wasn't going to come to the Yankees. He did it.
You don't want to pitch for us.
He ain't want to pitch for us.
But
Me and Frankie, we're about to jump into the let's break down yesterday's game. We're trying to avoid it because it was bad, but let's start off with the Yankees. Frankie, you could start with the lineups, and I'll handle the pitching, baby.
All right,
let's go.
All right, Anthony Rizzo leading off at first base, 0 for 4. DJ LeMahieu at third base went 0 for 3. Carpenter in right field went 1 for 3. He got pitch ran. No, that was the other game. I think he had a. No, I just stopped watching. I'm going to stop acting like I know what happened. Batting cleanup 0 for 4. Andrew Benintendi, another hitless game as a Yankee. 0 for 3. Gleyber Torres, another hitless game. 0 for 4. Aaron Hicks, another hitless game. How many times am I going to have to say it? Another 0 for 4. IKF, a 2 for 3 game. And Higgy went 2 for 3, and he hit a home run, if I'm not wrong. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, that was the only good sign from Higashioka being in the lineup. He hit a double and a home run yesterday. But one thing I could say is that we got to do better on the base paths, right? Luis Rojas this year as a third base coach is 100 times better than Phil Nevins was last year.
Oh yeah, he was bad.
But there's been times that Gleyber Torres got thrown out at third base. IKF got thrown out at third base yesterday. I understand you saw the fielder stumbling, JP Crawford tripped, and you thought you could get him home. But when you're down by 6 runs, you got to play a station to station. You got to do station to station. Then you would have had runners on second and third with Anthony Rizzo coming to bat. I know Anthony Rizzo was 0 for 4. Hindsight is 50-50. You can't look back into the future and try to figure out a guess, but runners on second and third, who was to say that he would not have come through with a single in that position, right, Frankie?
Yeah, I totally agree. So I don't know, it's just
but to me, I'm sorry, Frankie, real quick. But to me, what was more upsetting in this lineup, and we talked about it yesterday, Josh Donaldson. He had a good game the day before where he had a home run, he had a double down the line, good game. But it's like whenever Donaldson has a fantastic game and you think he's going to go on a run and break out, he comes back to it with a 0 for 4 night with a few strikeouts.
Yep. Just Donaldson, man. I just don't like him. I can't watch him anymore.
He has to be going. If he doesn't turn it up, right, for the last month and a half, 2 months left of the season, he can't be on this team next year. No, Donaldson can't be on this team next year. Hicks can't be on this team next year. If Gleyber Torres doesn't turn it around, he can't be on this team this year, right? Because it doesn't make sense you're having great seasons from LeMahieu coming back off an injury. Matt Carpenter's having a great season. Aaron Judge is having a great season. Before he got injured, Giancarlo Stanton was having a great season. We got Andrew Benintendi, who was hitting over 300. We cannot have 5 players having great seasons, and then you have enigmas in this lineup like Aaron Hicks, who goes 0 for 4.
Horrible season.
Gleyber Torres. I love you, Gleyber. There's been times that Gleyber creeps around 270, but as soon as he gets to 270, he goes into a funk and brings his batting average down to 250.
Yep.
It's let's see. He said, my man Mazza got to one thing. He said, we are falling back to old habits, right? Trying to swing for the fences and not playing small ball. We got to play smart and play station to station baseball. Let the long balls come when yes.
Agree. Couldn't have said that.
Agree. My man Pete agrees with it too. He said 4 Chains Express 100% correct. Too many swing and miss hitters. The 90 Yanks won't, cause every batter made you work. Absolutely. And that's the thing about the 90 Yankees and the dynasty when you had Paul O'Neill, Bernie Williams, Tino Martinez, right? Even if you want to say Jorge Posada, Derek Jeter, and then add on whatever cast you want to put around them, they didn't strike out as much. And I know baseball in 2022 is not the same like in baseball in 1990. People strike out. We get it. It's the nature of the beast. But over to these pitching side. Anybody else stands out in this lineup? Frankie, my fault. Before I
No,
move over to the
I
pitching
just don't
side.
like not having Judge there, but it's what it is. You
Yeah,
know, I'm not.
yeah.
You know, whenever
You
Judge
can't.
is in the lineup, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, yeah. You can't play him 162 games. I agree. I agree. Let's see. Garrett Cole pitched 6 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk, but he did have 8 strikeouts. Right. Wandy Peralta pitched 2/3 of it innings, 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, no strikeouts. Johnny Lasagna pitched a third, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Ron Marinaccio, who's emerging as a big piece of this bullpen. Don't forget where he from, Frankie? Where he from?
Tom's River, New Jersey.
Tom's River, New Jersey, baby.
New Jersey.
Ron Marinaccio. If you didn't know, just know he's from Tom's Rivers, baby. Marinaccio pitched the inning. He gave up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and he had 1 strikeout. Lou Trevino, the other Trevino on the Yankees, he pitched the inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. And Lou Trevino, that sinker, he's exclusively going with his sinker now that he's with Matt Blake and the Yankees.
It looks good too.
Yeah, it looks good.
I was watching highlights. It looks good.
Yeah, losing pitcher of record was Garrett Cole, 9-4 in the season. But yeah, like Frankie and I both said, that sinker, exclusively using that sinker, it's looking really good.
Looks really good. So
yeah.
So
looks really good, really good.
Let me see our bullpen going forward. So I'm excited. We were able to pick him up.
Yeah, my man Michael Caputo. Listen, I wanted Pablo Lopez too, and I think Frankie and I, we talked about this yesterday. I think Brian Cashman shot himself in the foot by announcing the Jordan Montgomery deal before getting Pablo Lopez. Because I think if you're the Marlins GM and you see that a team that you're talking to already traded away one of their strengths that a position of need, and they're trying to get a pitcher from you to upgrade them, you're going to play hardball and try to get more than what you originally wanted.
Yep, for sure. So
that's that. Brian Cashman shot himself in the foot with that. Over to the Mariners side real quick. I'll do the hitters and Frankie would do the pitchers real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, for the Mariners, he had Adam Frazier. He's second baseman in today's game. Normally he plays right field or left field, but Adam Frazier was 2 for 4. Jesse Winker, the left fielder, was 1 for 3. Eugenio Suarez, the third baseman, he was 1 for 4. Carlos Santana, the first baseman, Carlos Santana, not the guitarist, but the baseball player, was 2 for 4. J.P. Crawford, the shortstop, J.P. Crawford was 2 for 4. Kyle Lewis, the DH, was 0 for 4. Jared Kelnick, the center fielder, was 1 for 4. Torrens, the catcher, was 0 for 4. And Haggerty, the right fielder, was 1 for 4. One thing I could say about this lineup, Kyle Lewis, I wish Kyle Lewis the best, but it seems like Kyle Lewis is going to be one of those prospects that the injury bug just takes his career from him.
Yep,
it's so talented, so sad to see, but during the broadcast, Michael K speaking with the Mariners announcers, apparently the Mariners announcers and the Mariners feel like, he could play the outfield 2 or 3 days out the week, but then after 2 or 3 days, his knees start to bark and he has to DH. And if you're a young player and your knees are barking like that, those aren't good signs to come, right? Those aren't good signs for your future. Frankie, I
really feel bad for him.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Frankie, as somebody who does play and who is a pitcher, what's your thoughts on the injury as somebody who's played?
I mentioned it before. I had one, not just like one high school not one. Why can't I talk today? I'm stuttering every day. I don't know what it is.
You know what it is? I study a lot, right? I study. I stutter a lot, so it's like a social contagion. And I'm sorry if my stutterness is rubbing off on you. I'm sorry.
I'm usually a smooth talker. I don't stutter. I'm stuttering a lot today. I don't get it. I had one high school season get shut down because I got hurt, and then not just the high school season. It went through the whole summer and the whole fall. So stuff like that to happen to other people, especially someone as talented as Kyle Lewis, really stinks because I know how good he is. You know how good he is. He won the Rookie of the Year in the short year, and then he missed most of last year, and now he's got the injury bug again. Just really sad to see a
Oh,
guy.
I got a chat here for you. Jigga Man said, "Are we going to accept that Gallo jersey in the trash? I will pay Frankie $20 if he burns it alive or at least cut into pieces." Listen, Jigga Man, we don't want Smokey the Bear to knock on Frankie's door because he's decided to have fire in the house. We don't want that. We're trying to avoid that. Well, over to the pitching side of things. Go ahead, Papa.
So Luis Castillo threw 6 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, struck out 8. He looked pretty good yesterday against everyone except Kyle Higashioka. Other than that, he looked very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had trouble with this guy's name too. I will as well. Bo Rucky, I think, threw a third of an inning, just gotten out. Festa threw 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts, nothing. And Paul Sewald, I think he was a former Yankee, if I'm not wrong. Threw 1 inning, just a clean inning, no walks, no hits, no runs, no strikeouts. Yeah, just a tough way to end the series. You know, we were high after having a good win first game, and to drop the next 2 was kind of just, it was tough. But
yeah,
we'll bounce back. Got an off day today. You guys can rest up. We'll be all right. Go ahead.
Yeah, we they'll be all right. You know, trade deadline came, trade deadline went. We gave our grades for it the other day, but you know, getting 4 players in all, getting a bat, getting a starting pitcher, getting 2 bullpen arms that look like they're going to be big pieces of that bullpen. Overall, I'm happy going forward. Would I have loved another starting pitcher? Absolutely. I think if the Yankees would have got Brian Cashman would have got that second starting pitching, whether it was Carlos Rondon, Pablo Lopez, whoever it was, then I could be happy with giving them an A+, right? But we did upgrade, right? We did get 1 starting pitcher who you could say is a number 1 starting pitcher who's going to be a number 2 for us with 2 solid bullpen arms. You see Chapman coming back, Loizaga coming back into form. It seems like this bullpen is starting to figure it out. Do you think Clay Holmes, because this is something that was a hot talking point on sports radio yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you think Clay Holmes will finish the season this season as the closer, or you think Aroldis Chapman would take his spot back as the closer?
That's tough, but I mean, if both of them continue to pitch the way they have been over the past week or 2 weeks, I think Chapman for sure will take over that role. But you know, just like we said the other day, right? Talking about this, Mariano wasn't perfect. He would have some weeks where you would have, you know, a two stretch where we would have a blip. You know, so hopefully Clay Holmes stays as our closer because he was dominant for a while.
Yeah,
the past 2 weeks has been tough. So hopefully it's just a little skid, a little skid. He'll be all
just
right.
a blip on the radar, right? Just a little blip.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little blip. Guys in the chat, let us know. With everything that's shaping right now with this bullpen, do you think Clay Holmes will be the closer at the end of the season, or you think Chapman? Put down in the comment section, just write Clay Holmes or write Chappie, and just let us decide. But awesome episode. I think that will cover it enough. The Yankees, they have an off day today. They don't play again till tomorrow. So you're not going to see me and Frankie's face tomorrow morning. Sorry about that, guys. Just don't cry.
We got enough Monday.
Yeah, we won't see you till Monday. You got enough of us this week. You got 2 episodes on Tuesday. You guys had enough of us this week. But Frankie, any last closing moments before we dip out? Anything you want to leave the audience with, my guy?
I got nothing. I got nothing more.
Okay. Copy. I feel the same way. Shout out to the chat, my man Pete. Salute, my guy Pete. Michael Caputo. Like always, Caputo. Sorry to cut it short, Caputo. Monday's episode, we will put the link out at 12 o'clock. People can come on Monday, and we'll go back and forth on Monday, Capoots. But everyone who's in the chat, let's see. Geraldine MacGyver, Jiggerman Porto. Let's see. Molly was in the chat earlier. Appreciate Molly. My brother Keith. Salute my guy Keith. Guys, I am Hector, host of the Yankees Morning Brew, and this is my guy Frankie, co-host of the Yankees Morning Brew, and we are out of here. Peace.